Hi, everybody. This is Coach Henry, and today we're going to be sharing some insight and some of my personal sharings about an amazing player that I really respect, and he's called Rafael Nadal. And last night, I don't know if you guys watched the match. He won his amazing 21st Grand Slam title at the Australian Open, and he was down 2 sets to love. So he comes back and wins in 5 sets. It's just an amazing feat. And from a pro player standpoint, I'm sure a lot of players will agree with me. That's not an easy thing to do. Today's sharing, we would like to want to share with everybody, all our friends on this channel, all the aspects I would like everyone to take away from this amazing player. Of course, there is many, and today's short presentation is just a little bit of sharing that I think everyone should take away, and that maybe you can apply it to your game. And so here we go. He is an amazing player that is one of the most hardest working players. I respect him not because of all the shots that he hits only. Of course, he hits a lot of topspin, which I do like it as well. I teach a lot of topspin. But it's mainly his mindset that really sets him apart from most other players and inspires us as well. Is he never gives excuses. He just keeps working hard and ignores all the negative stuff out surrounding him. And every time you see that maybe he's a little bit dip in his career, he'll always fight back and come back stronger. And it just keeps moving forward. So it's one of the things that I would like to share with all our students and our friends, our fans on this channel. It's very important to have a very strong mindset. I'm sure not just tennis players, athletes of all different sports, the ones that have the strongest mindsets are the ones that will excel in the long run. So he showed it last night in his final where he won his 21st Grand Slam. And that's an amazing feat. So today we're going to be chatting about what we think our friends can take away from this amazing player. His forehand is huge, but not because he smacks the ball hard with flat. It's just fast, but it's also very heavy because of the spin and power ratio that he puts on the ball. He's a left-handed player that's grown up on clay, and on clay, there's some things that you would really develop, such as patience, learn to grind. In tennis language, grind means you can play the ball a lot, keep rallying and be patient and endure and have perseverance each and every point. And he's left-handed, so he can actually make that heavy ball jump to most right-handers' backhands. And that's a shot that right-handers don't like. So I want everyone to take away from this is that, even though, you're not left-handed, but you can also neutralize the topspin shot to the opponent's backhand too. So that's one thing that we can all take away from this is that hit more power and spin, make the ball heavy, and make the ball jump towards your opponent's backhand. Most of the opponent's backhands are not as strong as the forehands. I'm talking about most, not all. And that's something that we can all be inspired from. Of course, there's times where you're going to have to hit, open court and hit winners. But today, in this point, this slide, PowerPoint, we want you guys to try to understand that the spin and the power can open up a lot of things. One of the openings is to your opponent's backhand. And definitely with his spin, he can open up the court with a lot of angles. And that's only possible with the huge amount of topspin that he hits. And he hits with a lot of racket head acceleration. Hitting the ball with such amounts of topspin makes the ball trajectory more curvy. And that's one thing I like, and I teach all my students to hit a lot of topspin and hit it hard, but relax the arm to do it. And we do a lot of pronation. So in order to pronate like this, you're gonna have the arm really relax, but you're gonna also strengthen your arm too. Having the ball with a trajectory more curvy will automatically make you more consistent. So that's advantage in itself. So we encourage all our players to hit with more topspin, and especially with our racket that we produced, which is very strong. And so it'll make the ball more heavy for your opponents. And of course, as soon as you start doing this, you won't get the full benefits of it right away. But the more you practice, the better you will be. And you can see in this animated GIF right here that there's a lot of topspin. He's pulling the racket up in the vertical plane with huge amounts of pronation that he's actually finishing the follow through behind his head, like a lateral forehand. His banana shot down the line is he's famous for that passing shot. It's because of the pronation that he hits, and he doesn't hit it at shoulder height. Doesn't have to always hit topspin at shoulder height. He hits this really low on the drop so that he can go inside, outside, and curve that ball from inside to outside and back in. He can use it as a baseline to baseline shot, or he can use it as a passing shot in this situation here. So we wanted everyone to understand that in order to produce a banana shot that curves like this, you're going to have a really relaxed arm so that there's a lag and snapped factor in the racket head, but you've got to strengthen your arm too. So we do this on a day-to-day basis with our students, practicing the spins. And then eventually with being able to hit topspin from different heights, you'll be able to hit this banana shot as you curve it from low, really low, inside to outside. His backhand is also a really big strength of his game. He doesn't hit it flat again, he hits it heavy with a lot of spin. Did you know that he's right-handed actually? In real life, he's actually right-handed. So that actually helps this shot as well, because as you can see in the photo, the right hand is on the top of the racket, up on top of the left hand. So the right hand dictates, the top hand dictates the double-handed backhand. So having being right-handed actually will help him take more control with the racket head to give it more racket head speed. His backhand, he can take it on the rise and take it on the drop, and he can neutralize an opponent with more topspin. Talking about neutralizing, he also has a very strong slice, heavy slice. Having a slice slows the ball down, changes the tempo of play. So I encourage all our friends to develop a slice. Okay, and you can be inspired by Nadal's game, is that he doesn't just always hit the ball with topspin. As I always hit with slice too, we can always slow the ball down to our tempo and make the ball more low as it gets to the opponent's court. Now, if your opponent's not careful, he'll make an unforced error. But if they're more careful, they can actually place that ball back with more topspin, but they have to make an adjustment in their attack. Now, if they're not careful as well, they might not make a mistake, but they might hit the ball short. So then you can take advantage, and Nadal will take advantage with his forehand as they make the ball short. So the takeaway lesson here, learn the slice backhand. So we'll teach our students to hit slice backhands. You would actually have a more feel on the backhand slice if you're one-handed backhand. But if you're two-handed, it's okay. Just practice more. It just all comes from practice. We usually teach our students to do volleys first before they do slice backhands, ground strokes, or forehand, because you can develop more the feel first on the volley and then extend it to a slice backhand or forehand. His attitude is something that we all really respect in his life and in his game. He just goes for every ball and never gives up. Of course, when you start to do this, you won't be super, deadly in the first 5 minutes. But the more you do it, 5 hours or maybe 5 months, every time you play, go for every ball, you'll learn to use this to your advantage. And he has a very strong fighting spirit. So as an opponent, I know this guy's going to run for everything. And so he never gives up. So it gives me that little bit more extra pressure. Now, do you see that he does this routine every time? It's not because he really has problems with his pants or his shirt. It's because there's rituals and routines that he does every point to take his mind off the pressure. Now, all pro players and advanced players, and intermediate players, when you play a match, there's always a pressure. Now, pressure is always going to be there, but if you do something else, think about something else, give your mind something else to think about instead of focusing on the pressure. But the pressure will still always be there. Do you always tell friends or tell yourself, don't be nervous? If you tell yourself don't be nervous, you actually be more nervous. Now, if you tell yourself to think about something else, you start to focus on the other thing instead of the pressure. The pressure will still be there, you just embrace it, but not really be affected by it. And you can see he does this ritual all the time before he serves. It helps him become more mentally structured and clears the mind before starting each point. Now, we want to highlight that his serve is also a weapon as well. He doesn't hit the most amount of aces or hit a lot of aces like the other big servers do, but he sets up the point really well. As a left-hander, he can swing the ball wide to the right-hander's backhand on the ad side. What we can take away is that we can also do that for a right-hander as well. So you don't have to be a left-hander to be able to swing a serve wide. Or for a right-hander, you just do it on the deuce court. But one to understand that highlight to our friends is that he sets up the using the serve for the shot after the serve. So for example, he'll set up the ball, set up the point, pulling the opponent wide off the court to set up his forehand. And then he can use the forehand to run the opponent to the next open court. So that could be more, we could be all inspired by that. To open up the court, set up the court using the serve, and then use your strength for the shot after the serve. Now, he trains really hard in the gym. Now, we're not talking about bodybuilding, okay? We're talking about like maintaining for tennis, strength and conditioning for tennis. Now, did you know that after he won his final, he was actually on the bike after a 5-hour match? That's because he wants to cool down the body, right? So now his maintenance things that he does, this is how he keeps his conditioning up for his body. And it's something that we can all be inspired from. Of course, he does the strengthening in the gym and etc., but he's not doing bodybuilding, man. He's doing strength and conditioning for tennis. So all our friends who are watching on this channel, you got to do more strength and conditioning for tennis. I know all of friends just like to hit the ball. Now, if you're more stronger physically, you have less injuries and you'll play more better. Your shots will be much stronger, have a better serve, better ground strokes, and you'll be faster to the ball. And it's all to your advantage. So the takeaway lesson here is train up in the gym, but not bodybuilding, and find your coach who has strength and conditioning knowledge specific for tennis. Now, there's really not much coaches out there. There are many, but not much that have really good played tennis at the pro level, but also have the in-depth knowledge of strength and conditioning for tennis. So you're going to find one that's going to help you, and be sure to take sessions which strength and conditioning for tennis and not just hitting balls on the court. And his mental toughness is amazing, and he's a player that I respect a lot, not for his tennis technique only, but his attitude. So what we can learn from this is he gives no excuses. He just puts his head down and gets to work. And for all our friends who just like to hit the ball and just hit the ball, guys, there's much more to it than that. It's about putting in all your efforts in and focusing every day, doing more for your dream. And I'm sure this is his dream, and he reached his dream. We're reaching the most amount of Grand Slam titles. So we can all learn from this and be inspired by this by giving no excuse. And if it's something that you like to do, just focus and give in your 100% and more of hard work. So thanks everybody for watching this presentation, short presentation for my dedication to this amazing player, Rafael Nadal. And again, congratulations on this Grand Slam title again. And this is amazing. It's not easy to do, even for pro players. So next time we're going to be featuring another player and sharing my viewpoints on another player for you guys. And you can take a guess in the comments to see which player that we'll be featuring. And I really appreciate you all watching, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can share with more friends as well. And we should look to share with more information for you guys in our upcoming next sharing for you guys all. Thank you.